on special duty in the district micro cabinet of my district, District 3231, based in Mumbai. Today, we are very fortunate that we have a very distinguished and senior panel to start our program and give their blessings to us. This particular program, Roar with Rishi, was conceptualized about a month ago. We had Lion Rupesh Mehta of Lions Club of Mankhurd, uh, who floated the idea that since membership is so key to our growth, we want more and more citizens to join us in a Lions movement. And if we invite legendary Lion leaders of our country to discuss all the fantastic work they've done in the past 30, 40, 50 years, a lot of people will get inspired to join the Lions fraternity. And a lot of us will also get to learn from their experience as to what we should do to replicate either their projects and their ideas and to take the Lions movement forward. It is my pleasure and an honor to introduce our esteemed panel today. A very, very warm welcome to our respected District Governor, Lion Architect Rakesh Chomalji. Thank you, sir, for being the inaugural officer for today's program. Our very warm welcome to our first guest for this particular program, Roar with Rishi, respected PID, past international director, the man everybody loves, not only in India, all over the world, Lion A.P. Singh. Thank you, sir. A warm welcome to you. And thank you for a gracious time today. And of course, we have our senior advisor for this particular project, the man who gave us the entire boost to go ahead and start this venture, our guide, mentor, guru, we can call him everything, senior advisor, PDG, Lion Surendra Sharma ji. Thank you, sir. A very warm welcome to you and extremely thankful to all of you for your valuable time today. To start with, we are very kind and we are extremely thankful to one man who has been, I can say, my hero in Lionism, and that is our beloved district governor, the dynamic, the passionate, the committed Lion, Architect Lion Rakesh Chomalji. Lion Rakesh ji joined Lionism in the year 1991 as a charter member of Lions Club of Hilltop, and it has been an incredible journey since then. He's held so many posts in the past so many years, and one of the major achievements has been when he was chairman side first, more than 1,000 cataract screening camps and more than 1,500 lenses were given at that point of time. It's an incredible project and we need to learn how Lions today can replicate that. As DC Education, he has published a book, Mark Darshika, and he's been fantastic in Lions Quest and other activities. It is our honor and a pleasure that he's consented to be the inaugural officer for today's program. And with these few words, I present to you my hero, my district governor, Lion Rakesh Chomalji. Sir.
Thank you so much, Lion Rishi, for the wonderful words of introduction. A very good evening to all, and my salutation to the first guest of the show, the walking encyclopedia of Lionism, most respected past international director, Lion A.P. Singh, and the most inspiring persona, respected past district governor, Lion Surendra Sharma, under whose guidance this unique and exceptional Lions image building program commenced today. I feel so proud that the brain behind this program are two creative geniuses, both president and member of my district cabinet. Lion Rishi Oberoi, president of Lions Club of Chembur, and Lion Rupesh Mehta, president Lions Club of Mankhurd. And I'm extremely happy that their out-of-the-box thinking will carry the message of the work that we Lions are doing for the community. I'm sure that the legendary Lion leaders from various walks of their life who are going to be part of this program in future will enumerate on the various programs of our organization and the movement and how best we can take forward our Lions movement to draw membership growth. My best wishes for the success of this program, and I'm honored to have been asked for the inauguration. My best wishes, Rishi, and with this I declare this program duly inaugurated. Thank you so very much, and all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rakesh sir, for your kind blessings. सब जानते हैं कि आप एक शायर भी हैं और जितनी तेज इनका आपकी शायरी है उससे तेज भी आपका काम है. हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट की आन बान और शान है राकेश चौमल जिनका नाम है. Thank you, sir. It is an honor to have you. And we now request our guide and senior advisor for this particular venture, respected past district governor, Lion Surendra Sharma ji, to kindly give his blessings so that we can start.
Lion Rishi ji, Lion A.P. Singh ji, और डिस्ट्रिक्ट गवर्नर लाइन राकेश, मैं खाली इतना कहना चाहता हूं कि आपका प्रोग्राम आज जो स्टार्ट हो रहा है ये बहुत ही शुभ लोगों से स्टार्ट हो रहा है. इवन डिस्ट्रिक्ट गवर्नर राकेश चौमल इज देयर एंड अब ओवर एंड अबव हमारे सबके गुरु और मेरे तो खास करके गुरु A.P. सिंह जी हैं जो कि हमेशा एनी टाइम एनी मोमेंट ही इज देयर फॉर मी. He guides me very well. I have got only one request to make to my Guru, that Guruji, please keep on guiding us, this young team, whenever required. And we would like to take this program throughout the year, and if possible further also. And we will always be requiring your guidance. और जब कोई प्रोग्राम A.P. सिंह जी से स्टार्ट हो, तो the success is always there. एंड मुझे आज तक इंडिया में इनसे बड़ा लायन कोई मिला नहीं है. बिलीव मी, द काइंड ऑफ स्पीकर ही इज, द काइंड ऑफ नॉलेज ही हैज गॉट, ट्रेमेंडस नॉलेज, एंड आई रियली बो माय हेड टू माय गुरुजी. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी एंड विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट थ्रू आउट द प्रोग्राम. ऋषि विद रोर, कीप ऑन रोरिंग सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you so much, sir. Lion SK sir ji, for your blessings. Your blessings are very important for us. You've been a huge mentor and guide for us, young lions in the entire district. Right, sir. Thank you. And now to take this forward, ladies and gentlemen, lions from India and lions all over the world, it's time to introduce our very first inaugural guest on Roar with Rishi, the very respected past international director, Lion A.P. Singh ji. Lion A.P. Singh ji joined Lionism in the year 1984 as a member of the Calcutta Vikas Lions Club, and it has been a fantastic journey in the past 36 years. Of course, he's held a lot of positions as president, district governor, and after that, more importantly, in the year 2004 to 6, he served as international director on the Lions International board, as well as numerous, since then, every year he's been part of the board and the chairman of various committees, be it membership growth or be it district governors schooling and other programs. In the year 2007, he was the chairman of the membership committee, where membership droppages reduced drastically. And I'm sure in the course of the program today, A.P. Singh sir is going to teach us what exactly they did in that particular year. A.P. Singh sir has won numerous, is a winner of 4 international medals, 2 leadership medals, an international president certificate, ambassador of goodwill award, which is the highest honor which Lions International grants to its members. He's been named Lion of the Year and district multiple times. He's also a Heritage Club member and Wilvin Jones Fellow. Lion A.P. Singh ji is blessed with his wife Ruma and blessed with 3 children. And he's a senior chartered accountant by profession, and he's an inspiration. He's known as the leadership man, not only in India, all over the world. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind time and consenting to be the first guest in our program Roar with Rishi today. Warm welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I am very honored, deeply honored. I'm touched by your kind and generous words and by what Surendra Sharma ji said. So thank you very much for this invitation.
Sir, 36 साल हो गए since you first joined Lionism. Can we go back? जब आप शुरू हुए, I think you must be a young lad of 26, 27, if I can guess correctly. उस समय माहौल Lionism में क्या था, and what was your experience as a young lion in those days?
I mean, I am not one person who believes that things have gone worse or they have deteriorated or they were used to be very beautiful earlier. I believe Lions, this whole organization, this whole movement has been growing, has been developing. When I joined, the Lions clubs were there and they were performing the need-based service activities. And I believe we continue to do the same, that is to perform and render need-based service activities. What has changed is that the needs have changed. So if the needs have changed, the needs of the society, the needs of the community, then the need-based activities have also changed. And what has further changed is that the delivery mechanism has changed. There was a delivery mechanism 36 years ago. It's a different delivery mechanism now. And the next thing also is that the resources at the command of the Lions have changed. Today, the Lions have much more resources than they had at that point of time. Many things 36 years ago, we started as the first concepts. Today, we have a success story with those programs, with those projects. For example, in those days, Site First was a concept. We were beginning an experiment at the global level with the Site First program. Today, Site First is our solid foundation. It's a super success story of the Lions all across the world. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey over all these years, and I've seen these things grow, this develop, and I've been a part of it. I've been learning, and I've been enjoying it thoroughly.
Fantastic, sir. Can you just share some specific, sir? I'm sure there are lots of them, but instances where you've been a part of some fantastic projects, some innovative projects. You would have seen them as district governors. Some clubs would have done it, or as international director. I'm sure there's a lot that you can share with us.
You want examples of some projects that have really appealed to me? Those kind of projects
Exactly,
that we want to talk of?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Now, you see, what has happened, Rishi, over the years, the projects, I have seen it in different parts of the world, some of which I have been a part. Others I may not have been a part, but I've been observed, and they've really been very wonderful. So I'll share to you the various categories. Number one, when I became a district governor, I was lucky to have discussions with a fellow district governor in Sri Lanka. And then we had a past international director out of Sri Lanka. He's no more, we lost him. And I got into discussions with them, and I said, we talk of cornea transplants, but in our country, the corneas are not regularly available. Eye banks were just beginning, and Lions were beginning. Lions even today need to do, I believe, a lot more than we do in India in terms of eye banking. So in those days, to give a boost to eye banking, we set up a collaborative program where my governor friend in Sri Lanka, it was a twining program between two districts. He sent us 50 corneas from Sri Lanka. They were specially packed. They were shipped to Kolkata, and they came in 5 different packets of 10 each, and they were taken and given to the hospitals. And out of those 50, 49 keratoplasty surgeries were successfully carried out, and 49 individuals could see the world, could have the sight restored because of the cornea being made available to them from Sri Lanka. Now, this gave a big boost to the program of pledging your eyes. It's not donating. We don't donate eyes so long as we are alive. But we can pledge eyes, and we can become instruments for eye donation, because, deaths occur in families. We know families, in anybody's close associate of ours, or even in our own families, when someone passes away, and especially start off with the Lions. And it really started very, very strongly, and it was a very good beginning. And Lions started working with this awareness program, with this pledge program, and with the collection of the corneas, even, when people you're passing away within the families, so that more people could see the world. I still believe there's a lot to be done, but this was one example of individuals from different parts, different countries tying up and taking it forward. The next program that I'll just narrate 2 at this point of time that I'd like to talk to you about is a program which was called Gold Underground. Now, this was a program a few years ago. It's about, I think about 8 years ago. I had already been a governor, and I had also been a director by that time. But we started working closely with somebody, and what they did was they said that they would run through a series of painting and drawing competitions in the bastis and with the children of those who are economically deprived. And those who have the flair for drawing, those who really have the flair for drawing and painting, they would be given a 6 months coaching by some of the top experts and the topmost painters, some of the big names in the country who are based out of Kolkata. They agreed to take them on as their own students for a period of 6 months. So we even arranged for it was done at the district level. So we even arranged for the big room where those children used to be given those instructions and mentoring and teaching by those the so-called gurus. They were the big national names, and we used to even provide them travel costs to come there, travel costs for them and their parents, plus supplies, food supplies while they were there. And to the big the big names, to these experts who were the painters, we could do nothing except to thank them, and thank them from the bottom of the heart. And after 6 months, those children really produced some fantastic paintings, and that program was called Gold Underground. That these little kids had the talent, but they needed an opportunity to come out. And then those paintings were taken by various individuals, and there was an individual who was a vice president then of the association, and he was going to become a president in the future here. And he took a couple of those paintings, and those paintings for at least some part of the year were put up in the international president's office at Oak Brook. So all that it does is, it gives you a moral boost. I mean, but the point is, it just gives a moral boost. And those children, they were so good. And the training took place for painting. The training took place also for music. So there was a music contest, and those who were good in singing, they were trained by some of the national award winners in singing in India. So we had a concert arranged for them after about 6 months. So these are kind of programs which we don't indulge, because if you look at the numbers, it's just 50 and 50. But if we looked at the capital outlay, it was a lot of money, a lot of effort, persistent effort, a lot of collaboration with some big names and everybody. But then these programs also give you a lot of public relations. It opens up. It gives a very nice feeling to the members. It really does a lot to those 50, 150 children. It made a world of difference. Their lives would never be the same again. Their confidence level was something else. So these are two programs, I mean, there could be many more, but then I'm not going into the permanent projects of the blood banks and the hospitals and the big hospitals, super specialty ones. We've seen them all. I'm taking it away from those kind of programs into the more general programs, which can also become kind of the signature programs for the clubs and the districts.
Fantastic sharing, sir. Fantastic. I'm sure a lot of Lions who are listening to you must have been so inspired. I mean, why couldn't we think of something like this? I think in clubs we should have this brainstorming session के एक डब्बा होगा जिसमें अपना आइडिया डाल सकते हो, और उनको बोलने का टाइम दो तो बहुत भी बढ़िया होगा मेंबर्स को, कि आपको लगता है कि आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स आइडिया, and it could be sound very big at that point of time, but certainly, like you said, with the right encouragement, we can have the right impact in the right areas, and real service can be kind of delivered to society. Fantastic, sir. अब वो तो सर 30 साल पहले था, और आज हम पहुंच गए हैं 2020 में, in the times of COVID and Corona, and a lot of activities which normally clubs and used to do, वो अब बाहर नहीं आ पा रहे हैं to be able to serve the society in the forceful manner that they can. And even club activities or club meetings का थोड़ा सा अभी there's a different new normal. अब a lot of clubs are finding it challenging to be able to involve their members, to keep them together, to keep them engaged, for example, in a 1-hour meeting or even a service activity. How would you guide them, sir, to face these challenging times?
I mean, you see, there are certain programs and projects which are so much a part of our organization. I'm sure they will continue to be the part of our organization. COVID, no COVID, post-COVID, they will continue to be the part of our organization. But then what I also believe is that this COVID-19 period, it's not, I've often given this example, it's not like going into a movie theater and watching a movie. You have an interval in between. So you see a movie to a particular point, and then you have 10 minutes interval. and 10 minutes later, the movie starts exactly from the point where it was left off at the time of the interval. No, it doesn't happen. That's not what's going to happen now. Life will not begin exactly where we left it on 21st of March 2020. It's not, when they say that Corona will be taken care of, it's not that we are going to begin life exactly where we left off on 21st March 2020. Certain changes might become permanent changes in our lifestyle, in our own way of thinking, in our perspectives, in the way we live in our homes, in the way we work, in the way we run our social clubs, social organizations. So certain things are going to be of a permanent nature. Certain things, of course, which are too difficult now, perhaps we will go back to go back to what we were earlier. So it's going to be a mixture. When we use the word new normal, it will really be a new normal. And it will evolve. We don't know where it goes. So, I mean, there are a lot of programs and service activities would have to evolve according to the needs. There's one program which is very simple. I'm just talking to somebody. In fact, just before this program also, I received a mail from them. And they, it's an organization which runs coaching, schooling, and, post-school coaching for students in the village parts and those who are economically deprived, and they have got those centers, and they've got about 2,000 students there. Now, those classes have closed down, and it's a very big organization. We partner with them for microfinance. It's one of the very big organizations, and the Lions partner with them for microfinance. This is their social side of service. This is their CSR side, CSR activity side of that organization. So they have about 2,000 students there. Now, those 2,000 students can't get back to their, this is not the schools. This is the after school, the kind of coachings that the students require. So they provide them the extra, and they pay for this coaching. The students pay nothing for it. So now what they plan to do is that at least with the students who are securing 60% and above in their schools, to give them tablets, the electronic tablets, so that they can have online classes. These students do not have smartphones. Their family members do not have smartphones. They do not have tablets. But I'm sure they are smart enough that given an opportunity, they'll learn it in 2 or 3 days how to operate those tablets and everything. So it's going to start with almost just a very small number of about 200 tablets to be given. So I'm telling them to find out what are the costs involved, and we'll talk to a couple of clubs here to sponsor this program and take it forward. So so when we talk of education programs, this is a direction where the education programs would go. I mean, education can become much more widespread in the bastis. It will reach them. It's not only in the schools, it will really reach the people where they are. It will go to the bottom of the pyramid, because technology will make it go. The technology was always there, but we were not using the technology. COVID-19 here will play the role of a catalyst in which we will start using the technology for this good cause. So this is just one example of what a service program for Lions supporting the education program could be. I mean, this is with the change of times. This is linked to the COVID situation. So this is what, and since you wanted that example, this is an example that comes to mind, and we are actually working with it now.
Fantastic. So the big point is that COVID is not something to be feared. I mean, it's an opportunity if that is the way you look at it.
I would like to get too many of those opportunities, but then we can't help it. It's there. We can't wish it away. So once it's there, we need to make the best of that situation. That's what the whole attitude is. We need to make the best of the situation, and somehow or the other, it's really going to impact our lives. Look at this discussion you and I are having. This technology was there. We could have done it even when we didn't have the COVID. But we've been talking about use of digital technology for communication in Lions. Leave aside different multiple districts, even within the districts, even the district governors having meeting with the club presidents and the zone and the region chairs on a regular basis through this technology. I've been talking about it for the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's not happening. It needed a COVID to start this. So thankfully it started it. So somewhere a beginning has to be made. So that's fine.
Fine, right. And then ये तो sir service की बात होगी where COVID is we're trying to adapt to the times in terms of fellowship, which is such an integral part of our Lions movement. Clubs are finding it difficult to engage members. Clubs could be 40 members, could be 60 members, could be 100 members. अब meetings interesting कैसे की जाए, लोगों को क्यों sense of involvement कैसे उनके अंदर आई जाए कि I'm still a part of this club and I need to put my can you just share some ideas on that, sir?
I will share with you what I think could be done, but I am telling you for sure that these may not be the best ideas. There are still best ideas all around. And I tell my Lion friends, if you want the best ideas for fellowship or for online meetings, ask any youngster in your home between the age of 14 to 20. You got young people at home, young men and young boys and girls, ask them, how do we do interesting make meetings interesting? What can we do for fellowship programs, neat, clean, sanitized fellowship programs for online meetings? And you will be surprised with the number of ideas and the the thoughts that those young people would have, because they are the digital generation. We are learning, we are learning as we are growing, but still, I've seen clubs do quiz contests on online meetings. I've heard of clubs having a housey on online meetings. I've heard of some clubs organize or planning to organize a storytelling contest through online meetings. Other clubs having a poetry recital contest, poetry written by the members themselves. They have groups. May not be in a club, maybe at a zone or a region level. There are people who write poetry. So they would write it and they would recite it. People would listen. There could be a couple of judges. It's not the award, but to somebody who writes poetry, to have an audience, that's a great exposure. That is the great exposure. To his friends, they feel good that this man or this woman, we know them. He or she is one of us, one of our members, and reciting here. So it builds them and it binds them. It makes it also very interesting. So that is something that can really be done. And these are just some examples that I've shared with you. There could be very many others. I'm aware of some Lions in the United States and in Europe having get-togethers across continents. So there are Lions in different parts of the world, and they have fellowship evenings. Now, their fellowship evenings could even involve getting together, sharing experiences, talking, chatting, maybe narrating something. Not everybody speaks. Some of them speak, and while they are on that meeting, maybe they even have a drink. But everybody's there, and you watch people having a drink. That's their culture. So in our country, where that culture is there, in a nice, civil, and a sanitized manner, even that could be done. And they're doing these meetings across continents. Lions, people who've been meeting each other at the forums and at the international conventions, and they know it for a long time. They know each other for a long time. They're connecting and they're doing this stuff. So there are many ideas for fellowship, and I insist on it once again. Talk to the youngsters. Talk to the youngsters in our own homes. Talk to the Leos. They will tell us so many ways in which we could, really bring in, effective and meaningful fellowship in our meetings, in our online meetings.
Fantastic. So the moot point is engage. Talk to your members.
Yeah.
Engage them in some of the, it could be a talent hunt for your own club, could be a talent hunt across your district. It could be, like you said, it's a beautiful idea.
Point is,
meeting across continents.
Don't get too serious. Just get people talking. Just get people talking and give people an opportunity to give vent to some of their ideas, thoughts. Because you see, people are getting a little claustrophobic now. They are at homes. They're not being able to go out. It's not only physical, it's even mental and spiritual, mental and emotional claustrophobia also. They need some space. They need people. They need to see people. So you see them on a Zoom screen. You need to have conversations. You need to see body language. At least you see a part of the body language on the Zoom screen. So don't structure the meetings too much. Give them a little space and let them go. We need to start. I'm sure much better designs will be in the offing.
Fantastic. I really like the idea of the international kind of twinning meetings. I mean, it never occurred to me I could have a joint meeting with somebody from the US or UK or Africa.
Why not?
It could be very interesting. It could be.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, we just need to collaborate on with the right people, and this could give an entire dimension to our perspective of Lionism across the globe. A wonderful opportunity for us to be explore that kind of options. Wonderful, sir. So you are known as the king of membership as far as internationally is concerned. I believe in 2007,
I
8.
am the servant leader of membership. No king business. This organization is not an organization of kings.
Right.
Kings do not belong here. Servant leaders belong here. This is the organization of servant leaders. Every lion, servant leader.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's a wonderful humbleness, sir. In 2007-8, I believe you were part of the chairman of the international committee, wherein in that particular year, droppages were kind of reduced to a very large extent. What exactly did, what policy decisions were made and implemented by the clubs that retention was actually achieved?
No, I'm sorry. I must tell you that there's something little amiss in your research. We could not reduce the droppages. No.
Achha.
What we could do is to increase the ads. We increase the additions. We could not reduce. I'll tell you, my belief is that if you want to talk about membership, to be able to reduce droppages is a long-term plan. Because retention is not an activity. People think sometimes when we refer to it, this individual is in charge of retention. How is the retention in your club? How is the retention in the zone? What's the retention in your district? Retention is not an activity. Retention is the result of many activities. Retention is what happens when the environment in your club is so good that it's magnetic, that it keeps the members there, it doesn't let them go. Retention is the result of that magnetic pull within the clubs. So the clubs must have that magnetic pull. And how does it happen? Where the member satisfaction index is high, where members feel good, they feel involved and engaged, they feel respected, they feel they are heard, they feel they are recognized as individuals for whatever their own ideas are, for their own worth. When this is this kind of environment, when these indices in the environment begin to rise, then the member satisfaction index on the whole rises, and the end result is higher retention. Now, to be able to do this, nobody can do it in a year. We need to make our club habits good. We need to have our clubs really understand and involve and engage with their own members. This communication outside, this communication within. Do I know my members? Do I know what my members want? Do I understand what my members want? If there are different ways of looking at things, how do we keep everybody involved? Now, these are some of the issues. So what we had done that time, having very clearly understood that we need to arrest the declining trend of membership on a global level. And also, to my mind, the concept was very clear that drops is not something that I can attack. You see, you must understand in this organization, drops is something that the leaders get to know once it's all done. You get to know about drops once they are reported to LCI. It's purely post-mortem. Before the drops happen, it's about the magnetic pull in the clubs. So you really need to work to make that magnetic pull strong, which is not something that you accomplish in 3 months to 6 months to 1 year. It's something which is an ongoing process. It's a never-ending process. It's ongoing. But if there is a constant decline in the membership and you need to arrest that, what we decided was that we need to give a boost to additions. But those additions need to be sustainable. It's not that you add them and then they drop. So when we started them, for the next 9 years, there wasn't a drop. Now, I wasn't in charge all 9 years, but we started that process. So first year, people were a little skeptical, thinking, oh, it's just happened once. Next year, there'll be drops. No, next year, there was a growth in 5 digits. And the following year, this year, we'll see the drops happen. No, the third year the growth was the highest amongst the 3 years. Again, 5 digits. So the point is, it gets into a momentum. But point we need to understand is that both sides have to be balanced. The additions need to be, there has to be a boost for the additions, which is in the existing clubs and new clubs. And very, very importantly, the magnetic power to continue to retain, to continue to involve, forget the word retain, the magnetic power to continue to involve and engage the members so that, that's the way they look at it.
Fantastic. Sir,
there was a membership guru, I'll tell you, I forget his name, a good friend of mine, and we got into discussions. He said it's like this, he said, like in a marriage, a husband doesn't retain the wife in the marriage. A wife doesn't retain the husband in the marriage. The marriage must have the magnetic pull that they won't want to drift apart. They want to stay together. Despite the differences here and there, despite some little, issues that may continue to happen always when people live together can happen, still you want to stay there. So that is the involvement and engagement, the binding, the magnetic pull. That is what we need to develop, something that's just an analogy. That's just an analogy we need to develop in our own organization.
Fantastic. Now, if I ask you on probably specific level, कि अगर मेंबर्स नए आएंगे सर तो कौन होंगे? हमारे दोस्त होंगे, हमारे फैमिली मेंबर्स होंगे, हमारे बिजनेस एसोसिएट्स होंगे. तो आपने अपने दोस्तों को ही मेंबर बना दिया लायनिज्म में, या लायंस में आपने दोस्त ढूंढ लिए? वो इट और हाउ वाज इट? हाउ वाज द जर्नी?
For me, a journey has been so different. I don't know whether this can be a pathway with everybody. I got perhaps a bit too involved and too engaged with the Lions, and I enjoyed it. I have really enjoyed it. I consider it a very special blessing from God Almighty. So from my pool of friends, before I joined Lionism, some have joined Lions clubs, because when I went back and I spoke to them and they were inspired and they felt good and they have joined Lions clubs. But basically, significantly, a very, very, more than significantly, it's that the Lion members have become my friends. They've become my circle with whom my life continues. So they are my best contacts. They are my buddies. They are my friends. They are the people whom I talk to, and they are the people whom I would go back to for any kind of support, for any help, even on a personal level. I mean, they are my circle. And I think, in today's world, everybody needs this support system. Our families are becoming nuclear families. And so we need this. So this organization can be a fantastic support system to us at a personal level also. That is something which is not written, but that's a benefit that accrues to us through membership of such a wonderful organization as Lions Clubs.
Fantastic learning, sir. And you've been part of a movement wherein you have collabed, like you said, with the organization where 200 children, 2,000 children are involved in schooling. There are, I'm sure, a lot of other organizations whom Lions can collaborate with, or CSR funds can be tapped. What do you guide clubs to be able to start that process?
I always believe in cooperation, partnerships, collaborations. I have always believed in that. It's nothing new. I have always encouraged in building such partnerships and cooperations and collaborations. And I think that is the way forward. CSR definitely is, one such reason why we should move forward. In fact, we need to train our minds, and we need to train our leaders as to how to work collaboratively. Collaborative working is not that somebody's going to give you the money and you say, okay, thank you very much, you've given me the money, and now I'll go and do some kind of service program. The individual who's going to provide, whether it's the money or any kind of resource, has a certain vision. there has to be a commonality of purpose. There has to be an overlap of purpose, an overlap of vision between the provider of those resources and between the Lions clubs. There has to be a clear understanding for the delivery mechanism, for the feedback mechanism, for sitting together and looking and revising, looking and reviewing the outcome of those activities and making mid-course corrections for the delivery mechanisms as we move forward. So we need to understand very clearly that everybody becomes a stakeholder. And that's right. That's fantastic. And that's how our ability to do more grows. We leverage our results if others join us. There are others who have specialized knowledge. They have capacities in specialized ways. So people with their specialized knowledge, where they have so-called core competencies. We have a certain core competency. Another organization or a group has some other core competencies. When organizations with different core competencies come together because of a commonality of vision, their results are not a sum. Their results are a multiplication, the results multiply. That's what happens. You grow not in arithmetic progression, you grow in geometric progression now in terms of your results. That's what happens. So we need to be able to work together. That's very important.
So the message to all club leaders is that wherever you might be connected, you could connect with your corporate, you may know people in government, you may know people in other NGOs, to be able to exchange ideas and be open to kind of collaboration with them, so that we synergize the strengths of all and we're able to have impactful programs to serve the community. So that's one message that...
Absolutely. I was into a panel discussion about a month and a half ago with an individual who's going to be the president of Rotary International next year. He happens to be from Kolkata. His parents are ardent Lions. So we had a very, very, very interesting discussion, a panel discussion on Zoom, and we had more than 1,000 individuals, joining that discussion. But, he was open enough to say that the two organizations should come closer. And he said, and what's the harm? We need to come closer. Supposing we have a goal and we need, it's going to be a big accomplishment, something that a country needs. And we need more participation in terms of individuals spread out across the country. But the result can really make a big impact in the country. Why won't Rotary come to Lions and say, please help us to make this initiative a success? And if you Lions are doing something where you are making a very big impact, and you believe that you could be in certain pockets, or you could be working with certain other groups that could really make, not multiply a result manifold, but you don't need to start from scratch, and we have that. You talk to us and we should be able to stand by your side, stand behind you, complement you to make that successful, because ultimately it's about service to the communities, to our country, to the entire world, to mankind overall. So the idea was fantastic. I don't know how it'll get structured, but then these ideas have always been there. And why only Rotary Lions? Anyway, any kind of organizations, I think we need to partner, and that way our results will be much bigger.
Fantastic. It's been a fantastic 40 minutes of great learning from you, sir. The big message that I get from all that I've learned from you is, अगर खुद के लिए जिया तो क्या जिया, जीना तो वो है जब आपने देश के लिए कुछ किया. So all you people out there, it could be Lions, could be non-Lions, if you really feel you want to contribute something to society, you want to contribute something to your nation, now is the time to contact your nearest Lions club. If you cannot contact your nearest Lion, you can go to a website. I'm sure you know a lot of friends who are Lion members, and you can enroll yourself as a primary member, or you can collaborate with Lions in whatever small way you can. There's no harm in that. And then in the years to come, definitely we would love to have all of you in the Lions movement and the Lions fraternity as one big Lion family. We all know, sir, that you are our third international vice president endorsee. We are all looking forward to the day when we see the D-Day. Our best wishes are with you to be able to lead us, not only in India, but globally, the entire Lions fraternity. And extremely, extremely thankful to you, sir, for your wonderful words of wisdom. and being our first guest in Roar with Rishi. We have
I wish you all the best.
certain.
I wish you all the best. I wish the series all the best. And if I will get time, which I will mark out, I will continue to be listening to your discussions because I'm sure that the speakers who follow will also have so much more to share. And we always get richer by sharing the ideas and by listening to others, of their experiences. So thank you very much, Rishiji, and thank you everybody who's planned this. Thank you, your District Governor Chomalji, Rakesh Chomalji, and Surinder Sharmaji, past District Governor. I'm very obliged.
Thank you so much for valuable time. Like you said, we'd like to thank our beloved District Governor Rakesh ji for his valuable time, Senior Advisor SK Sir. We have a whole team here who's managing the entire show. We have Lion Rupesh Mehta, who's been the creative head of this particular program. We have our young startup techie team, that's Digital Quirkies, who are managing the entire technical collaboration from Zoom to Facebook and telecasting and streaming. That's Neerta Prabhakar and Anujit who are handling the entire show. We have Lion Rishi Oberoi, my wife, who's been the active part of the entire process, my daughter Simran. Like you said, bachcho ko suno, Leo's ki suno, she's going to be Leo very soon, and she's just learning the ropes. And we are extremely thankful to all members of Lions Club of Chembur and Lions Club of Mankhurd for supporting us in this wonderful cause. And next week, we're going to come back with our next guest, the very learned, the very world-renowned trainer, past district governor Lion Pankaj Mehta ji, and he's going to give us his words of wisdom on how we can take the Lions movement together forward in our country. So thank you, sir. Thank you for a valuable time. Thank you, dear Lions, non-Lions, friends all across the globe are listening to this. ऊपर वाले से यही प्रार्थना है कि आप हमेशा मस्त रहिए, स्वस्थ रहिए, जबरदस्त रहिए. And until we meet again next week, it's a goodbye and good night from your host and host, Lion Rishi Oberoi. Until then, keep roaring. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.